Tugboat here. I got another little project going. I got this Hayward select flow valve, which isn't made anymore. They have different styles right now. You can't even find parts for it. You can't even find a new label, anything, which I've tried. But what has happened over time is it has got cracks around most of these. Here's a tiny one here on one side. Here's one on both sides. And I'd just taken a welding gun, just a welder, and soldering iron, and melted them way back because there was one or two, and I did that all around, which it seemed to work pretty good. But now I'm going to try to do it a little better because I got a new pump and it's leaking like crazy and all that good stuff. So I'm going to try to fix it, and I got two different ways to do that. And one of them is this Bondic Pro. It's a really nice case, nice set. Comes with the cartridge you put in here, a gun, and you squeeze out what you need. When you squeeze out what you need, then you take this UV light and you bond it, and that cures it instantly right there. It comes with the glasses. Really nice case. I haven't used this one yet, but what got me started on this is this little case right here. These little ones, they come like this, and then of course you just pull this part out, pull the cap off. It's got a little pinpoint, you squeeze a little juice on it, then you push this, and it's got a UV light in them. But you can buy the case. I had like 4 or 5 of these. Then I bought extra, I'm gonna call it the glue cartridges that go inside these pins. You can use a UV light on the other one if you want any good strong. And then the really strong, then you can take this filler, and it's a powder, so you can squirt the glue and then put the powder on there and then hit it with UV light, and it does a really good job. I've used that for multiple things. This one I got at a big plastic show. This one's actually for medical use here. It's a UV2. I have never touched that one. Don't need anything for UV. I'm not gonna glue myself up. I use super glue, by the way, if that works for you. So what I'm gonna do on here, what I've decided to do on this one, because this is kind of under pressure, a lot of pressure from closing this valve right here to just water pressure in there. So I'm going to use this VEP 960. It's a heat gun. You put your tip in the end of it here, and then it comes with these bags right here, but you get 4 different styles. You get this small one right here, you get this one, and then you get this one right here, I guess, for flat. When you're doing something flat, you can hold it on there and get it flat, and this is kind of the same thing, different ways. So you take the end here. I'm gonna see if I can do it with this. And what it has is in the end here, it's got these 2 little holes. And then you just take this and put it in there, and you kind of squeeze that and put it in the other one. Most of you that watch my videos understand that I can't do 6 things at once and keep the camera on it. So then what I'm going to do is find one I don't need both hands for, which I think is this one right here. Yeah, that one's pretty good, solid at the bottom. So you can't push it in. So what you do is you push the booger button here. Light comes on, which means it's heating up. And then it's fast too. It's already red hot. So you just melt that in there, turn it off, give it a little second to cool. And then you pull it up, and that's gonna seal that up. So now what you do, I'm going to take this. I'm not going to use that one. Let's put this over here. So then I got this other welding kit. This is just a little flat one. You can use these for all kind of things. I'm going to take this, and I got all different kind. I got the flat bar black, PVC, different plastics, different colors. So you take all these, which I might have a bunch of these for sale if somebody wants them. They're far different projects for 3D making, but I have a bunch of them. I'll give you a good deal on them because I ordered some. I ordered way more than I needed. So you got 2 different styles. You got the black wide, and then you've got the little small black ones. I have the little small ones. Then I'm gonna heat this up and smooth that out and do it. So what you do is somewhere around here, I've got a pair of snips that you come in here and you cut those off as close as you can. Get it like that, and just break those off. Then I'm gonna come back and smooth this off, and then I'm gonna use the welding rod. I'm gonna use a welding rod to try and clean that up a little bit, coat these, and then on the top. So that's basically how you do that. That should hold that for just about ever. Now I'm gonna do the other side too. I'm gonna do the other side also. Let's see if I can get this. So difficult for me to do things with one hand. I'm gonna set this down real quick. So just enjoy the darkness, take a breath, relax. Okay, I'm back. So now I'm going to do this again. And you can see that thing getting red. It burns fast. Then I'll let it cool off a little bit before I pull that out. And that's basically what it does. Then I come in here. Wear some safety goggles when you do this. Every time I go to an eye doctor, he looks at me and he asks me, what the heck you got in your eye? You got a piece of metal in your eye? And I go, yeah, it's from working on ships. We tough. We don't wear gloves. We don't wear glasses. So that's the only place I can think it happened to me was wire brushing, needle gunning, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do the rest of them all the way around that are like that. I don't want to use this one right here because it's gonna take two of them, and I think the other one's a lot better hold, and I got whole bags of them. So the different ones, BP960V, that's good for valves and heavy stuff like this. This is for superficial things. You can weld almost anything with it. I don't think it'll be good on a valve that's got a lot of pressure on it with bolts going through it. But this is pretty good for something else. Considering I've used a smaller one and it's been fantastic for like eyeglasses or anything else you need to weld real quick. That works better. And then you've got the flat bar over there, welder, right there, that you can use these with. I also have a commercial big welding gun that I have hid somewhere. Here's some rods. Then I have this one that I use. And then I got this big one right here. You actually hook this up to a compressor. And you hook that up to an air compressor. And it actually blows air as you weld. But these, I have a bunch of these. These are 3 Dueler Creates. These are the small ones. They work real well for plastic welding, small things. So I have quite a different ways to weld things, but I'm going to use this quick and easy one so far with this, and I'll show you the finished product. I'll be back. Tugboat out. Okay, what I've done is I've gone all the way around this, and I even did it in places that wasn't cracked. But I've placed them all around. I just got to cut them off, and then I'm going to seal them up. The bottom part here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I may use the Pro gun and just seal those little cracks up right there. And this one I had to actually push in with my thumb and do it. What's surprising with this is as soon as you let go of the trigger, you let this cool because it will pull back out when it's hot. Just let it cool a little bit. Try not to breathe the vapors in, of course. Blow while you pull. And then what happens is I go ahead and pull it out. You can immediately put another tip in here because it's not hot. This thing gets red hot, so you can control the depth of it, and you can see how much meat I have to put it in there. So I put it in a good little ways. I didn't penetrate it through. But what I did on even the ones that did not have a crack in them, just to kind of reinforce them, I used this one. This is one I used one with cracks, and this is one I used without a crack right here. I just put them in there just to kind of reinforce it, and hopefully it'll help. I could have put one at the top or the bottom where it seemed to crack, but I torqued this thing down quite a bit. Now, the one that was leaking around here somewhere, right here, I actually used this one. There was another style that flipped off the board. I have no idea where it went, but it flipped off. But the other one, I couldn't get a real good measure on it. So I could have done those with this, but because the crack is coming down like this, I had a feeling that that would allow it to keep spreading from the top. Of course, this might hold it. Now, I don't know if this one will fit in there. No, it won't fit in there. So I could have put this one in first and then came on top and laid this one on there, and that would give you a little more support here, a little more support at the top. But I just did this. This one wasn't cracked. I just did it to see. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to clip all these off, and I'm going to try to clean that up a little bit. Either just clean it up with this flat one, or I'll go ahead and just beef it up with one of these plastic rods. Haven't decided which one I'm going to use. Don't worry, I'm not on that much medication. I use old bottles to store my alcohol, vinegar, all my cleaning stuff. So I have these two type to do it. So being the size of it, I may go ahead and just use this one and clean it up right there because it fits about the same. Okay, so I'll be back. I may show you how to do one of them and then wait till I get to the end. I'll check them out. Sorry about that little insertion of music right there. I got 700 CDs. I got a 400 CD player and a 300 CD player, and they're stacked on top of each other, and they just randomly play whatever they want. And it seemed like old George was singing, but hopefully they won't block this. Right here I used the tube, the small little round one, and did it. The problem is with this and this material is it's got to heat all the way through, and I tried the round flat one, but it was too big around. And this is that long flat tube that I used, that I showed you like that right there. And I just didn't like the way it came through. By the time I heated all the way to plastic and got back to heat that down, you got to heat both of them up. So this one I just went through with my big iron, and it's pretty much sealed. So I'm just kind of closing that gap up. I'm sure there's some plastic welders out there that say, hey, that's the wrong way to do it. It doesn't matter, it's fine. I'm going to end up having to buy one of these later on. But I just did that just to kind of seal it up. I don't care what it looks like. Nobody's coming out there to look at my swimming pool with me, so that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just kind of sealing that up. You got to pardon my accent, talking, what have you. You know, it looks so easy when people do this with the cameras on. But that's basically all I'm doing. I'm just smoothing that over. I've already cut all the tabs off. Just smoothing them out. I don't think they're going to pop out by any means because they're pretty damn hot. But that's what I'm going to do all the way around. Now this one I probably could have done with a flat one. But so if you ever see one of these big hot gluons, soldering guns right here. That's what they come in handy for. And I'm just gonna go all the way around and do all of them like that, and then I'm gonna finish up, and I'm gonna go on top and smooth some of the ones on the top. I already did one over here. Like I said, I don't care what it looks like. That right there, I just, where it was cracked, I just kind of sealed it. As long as my bolts can go in there. That one's got to be done. That one's got to be done. All of these around are going to be done. So anyway, that's what I got to do, and then I'm going to put this thing back together and hope that it works there. It looks like this gasket's just about gone. I got 2 other ones. I'll go put a new one in there. But that's it. As long as I can keep the bottom here pretty smooth and flat, I'll sand this little piece off right here that I got, and we'll go from there. Tugboat out. Hope this helps you. Like I said, I got several different kind of welding rods packages, which those work out really good on certain things. Got both the guns there, and then I got the big welder right there. So that's what I've done. Like I said, I don't want to have to buy another one of these. I just had to do AC work on my air conditioner work, and I'm fixing to show you how to replace a battery. And I got it around here somewhere. I may have already put it up. But anyway, I'm gonna replace the battery. Here it is. I gotta replace this battery in a tool I got from my air conditioner, my wireless reader. So that'll be my next video. So looking forward to it. You know, follow on. Never know what I'm going to be working on. Take care. Tugboat out. Any questions, leave them. If you like my videos, like them. I don't know what it does for me, but it always looks good to see that somebody's watching and liking them. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. Thank you very much. I just do this for y'all's help, and questions asked. Ask them. Tugboat out. Okay, I'm back. I found this nice little case. I don't remember where it got, but everything fits in here. It's got your different places there. There. 2 pockets where I should keep my cutters there, my pockets here. Also, when you get your plastic welder, it comes with this mesh screen, so you have to fill everything in. I've looked everywhere for a name on this case, and I finally found it, in case you want to try to find it. And it's looks like it's Von Maur, V-O-N-M-A-U-R. If you want to find the case, there's nowhere around there. It's just a nice little case for just about any of your tools. I'm sure it was for a girl, and some of her carrying her stuff, or an artist or something to carry brushes around, but don't let me see it, because I will utilize it for something else. But anyway, I finished it up. This thing takes forever to cool down. But I just, like I said, I just kind of don't care what it looks like. I just kind of wanted to seal it up, give it a little more strength, hit those on top, as long as they don't go, I can't go underneath it, so hopefully it'll work. And I may take some sandpaper or something and sand it off, but like I said, I really don't care what it looks like. This thing's old, very old, and it's about beyond this day when it starts cracking like that. So I'm real careful about sequential across, back and forth to screw it in, but it's just getting old and brittle, so I'm gonna have to break down. They just don't make this one anymore. Okay, this is Tugboat. I'm over and out. If you have any questions, give me a call, and I'll be back with you next build.